From John Thiel Gymnasium in Galesburg, Illinois, a regional plaque will be handed out tonight between two of the most viable teams in Central Illinois that have been among the area's best all season long. It's the East Peoria Raiders taking on the Peoria High Lions. Glad you're with us here on ClutchSportsIL.com. Good evening, everyone. Jonathan Michael here in the booth, joined by my good friend Sky Gillespie. And Sky, we've been looking forward to this one. This is going to be a competitive regional title, not a runaway, I think, like some others in the state could be tonight. And looking forward to a great game. It's an awesome gym here in Galesburg.
Beautiful gym, beautiful school, a lot of great facilities here, and a lot of great basketball soon to be played right here on ClutchSportsIL.com. The Raiders, 28 wins, just 4 losses. Peoria High, 23-6. Some of the best teams in the area, 2 incredible teams in the city of Peoria. It's going to be one heck of a battle tonight, Jonathan.
It certainly is, and a big storyline coming into this game, Sky, was East Peoria. They're, obviously dealing with Cole DuBois. He broke his hand a few weeks ago, probably not going to play. Well, we were shocked just a few minutes ago to see that Cole DuBois is suited up. He is in his jersey. He has his right hand wrapped, was shooting in warm-ups, and as of right now, he's listed on the starting lineup on the board. So Cole DuBois, by all accounts, looks like he's going to be in action tonight for the Raiders, which is a major game changer.
It looks like they pulled a fast one on us. They might have pulled a fast one on the Lions as well. Just having him in the game accounts for so much more offense, just incredible leadership as well. You get so much with having DuBois on the court. Obviously, you got Quentin Kitt, but you got his right-hand man who does appear to be starting in this game, and that could be a game changer and just makes that such a more exciting ball game.
It certainly does. I saw both teams play here on Wednesday. We'll kind of recap those a little bit. East Peoria beat Washington 58-51. That was the game where Washington shot the lights out, even took a brief fourth quarter lead, but East Peoria did enough to pull away. Jackson Aarons stepped up, led the way with 17 points. Quentin Kitt had 15. Kingston Weatherspoon, a key freshman for East Peoria, played really well and had 13 points. So I saw those two guards, Aarons and Weatherspoon, and say, hey, they're going to need to step up big time again. Well, they still are going to tonight, regardless if DuBois is playing or not. But a good win for East Peoria. They're 28-4 on the season, finished second in the Mid-Illini Conference. As for Peoria High, they come in 23-6, Big 12 Conference champions. Didn't lose a official conference game all season long, and they beat Galesburg here on Wednesday 68-44, and they also had a hot shooting performance. Sky, they have a lot of different scorers.
Yeah, they're very balanced. They're very dangerous. Incredible defensive team as well. Not a lot of people talk about them. On the defensive end, everyone knows their sharp shooting and playmaking, but they can pretty much do it all against one of the top teams in the Mid-Illini and in the area. East Peoria versus Peoria. Whew, it's going to be fun.
This is going to be a doozy, and glad you're with us here on ClutchSportsIL.com. Again, as you see on your screen, this is an audio-only broadcast, and unfortunately, we cannot do a video broadcast due to NFHS network restrictions, but we'll do the best to bring you the live action as it happens here as we take a break for the national anthem. Well, you probably heard the East Peoria student section there said home of the Raiders. They bring a pretty good student section here tonight, Sky. It's a whiteout for them, and I'd say, about a good 50 to 50, 60 students over there from EP showing out. East Peoria, or Peoria High also got good numbers as well as the starting lineups here are introduced. Always fun when students, they get really, really hyped up for these games. They know this is just a different type of energy in the playoffs.
And to show a little bit of respect or lack thereof, East Peoria student section turning their backs on Peoria High as their starters are introduced. You love to see it.
And we'll bring in the starting lineups here. Peoria High wearing their road blacks with maroon trim and gray numbers. They'll be going left to right to start the first half. Their starting lineup goes like this. Caden Turner, who dropped 20 points, a team high the other night. Nigel Moore had 18. He's also in the starting lineup as well, a sharp-shooting sophomore. Phoenix Foy, their glue guy in the middle, number 15, number 22, Jacob Duffin Jr., and number 32, Orlando Edwards Jr., rounded it out. No surprises there in the Lions starting five. As for East Peoria, you heard it here first, folks. Cole DuBois officially starting tonight, wearing number 3. Raiders in their home whites with maroon numbers and gold trim. And again, joining DuBois is Jackson Aarons, Kingston Weatherspoon, Quentin Kitt, and Kalen Hardy. But Sky, both these teams pretty deep. We might see 8, 9, maybe even 10 players hit the floor tonight for both these squads.
That's what I love about this matchup, Jonathan. They're so deep, they're so well-rounded. A lot of people who can step up and play. Usually you see teams kind of limit their bench, not letting a lot of players come in late into the season, but deep benches, a lot of guys who can get it done. These coaches trust not just the 5 on the court, but they'll go in the bench as well.
And that's what made these teams both so dangerous during the season. As we get ready for the tip-off, it's Foy and Kitt ready to go. Regional title going to be handed out here in about an hour and, say, 15, hour and 30 minutes. Peoria High wins the tip. Again, they're going left to right. Here's Nigel Moore going to handle the ball on this first possession. Gets a screen from Duffin. Driving on Weatherspoon, kicks it back out. Now Moore screens for Duffin. He's in the lane, blocked by Kalen Hardy. Hardy, the former Peoria High Lion, making his presence known on the first possession.
And we're going to see how Cole DuBois handles the pressure. He's getting picked up full court. Probably going to challenge him, knowing that there is a clear weakness in that hand of his. But I think the junior can pass the test.
We'll see how he does tonight. Quentin Kitt has the ball. He's double-teamed on the baseline. He put up a shot, but they're going to whistle a travel beforehand. So it goes back to Peoria with 7:20 left to go in the first quarter.
And Quentin Kitt was he was trapped right there in the short corner. He's going to get trapped and doubled nearly every time he touches the ball. His first possession turns it over.
Yeah, Kitt is the guy that's going to get his every night, but it's just he'll not let him go completely crazy. Big key for East Peoria as Caden Turner drills a 3 from the wing, and Nigel Moore motions to the student section to get them all fired up.
You love to see it. You're going to see these Lions trigger happy, leave them any space. It's going up. Turner puts it in.
He is a amazing shooter. He's just a sophomore transfer from Metamora. 3-0 Lions here with 6:40 to go in the first. DuBois finds Hardy on the slip. He lost it on the way up. Here comes Nigel Moore, 2-on-1. Him and Duffin on DuBois. Duffin lays it up and in.
Really like the bounce pass there. It seemed like the Raiders were going up, anticipating a lob, but a great bounce pass leads to the 2-pointer from Duffin.
DuBois has been bringing the ball up. He's been dribbling mostly with his left hand. Why not doing much with that right, which is bandaged up tonight. Weatherspoon lost it. Here's Foy in transition, goes up, and Kitt poked it out. It's going to stay Peoria High ball as they lead at 5-zip, 6:09 to go in the first.
I like that from Kitt. You don't want to get in easy foul trouble early on in the game, so just kind of swipes at it and gets another possession. East Peoria coming up. Kitt.
And Kitt is fouled on the way up. So Foy, I believe, is going to pick up that foul. That's going to go on Duffin, actually. So Kitt will shoot 2. Kitt, as many know, committed to Illinois. a 3-star at the moment. His first one is good. Just grazed the front of the rim and trickled in.
Illinois currently projected as a 2 seed the last time I checked in the NCAA tournament.
See how that holds up after that loss to UCLA. That was a tough one to swallow the other night. We'll see if they can respond in a big one against Michigan here, I believe, tonight. Peoria High with the ball back. Kit made his second. It's 5-2 Peoria High. 5:52 to go. Moore's three from way out is rebounded by Kit. Now Ahrens across half court. Matchup of one-on-one. Ahrens on Caden Turner. Ahrens beats Turner, but Turner swats him from behind and corrals it in the corner. Lions going quickly. Duffin tees up a three. Made one the other night. That one's short, but Moore gets the board. In a lot of trouble, puts it up and in.
Unbelievable shot right there. He was falling away, kind of a fadeaway. Seems like a little bit of a prayer. Prayers get answered sometime. The 2 for Nigel Moore, and Lions up 7-2.
5-point lead as Moore was surrounded by Raiders. Another turnover. That pass intercepted by Moore. Now here's Turner, 7-2, 5 minutes to go. Turner laying it up, underhand, no good. Came up short, but Foy beat Kit to it, and he lays it up. 4 different scores for the Lions as they lead at 9-2 here in the first.
And they're dominating the offensive boards, and probably a smart timeout right there from Coach McElmurray.
As Jarrett Brown, I believe, from East Peoria.
Excuse me, yep.
Yep, calling that timeout. So the Raiders will talk things over with 4:45 to go. Again, Ryan McElmurray, a former Galesburg player, so coming back to his old stomping grounds to coach his Lions here in this gym. As you hear the Lions student section making noise, and what do you know, Sky? I think that's Sean Livingston that just walked into the gym.
Yeah, I have actually never been probably within 30,000 yards of this man in my entire life. So just being this close to him, I'm a little starstruck, and might have to have some post-game words with that man. Peoria legend.
He does show out. I've seen him a time or two. Not often, but he does come back for some of the big ones. And you love to see it from Peoria High, who has a long list of just really impressive athletic alumni, both football, basketball, and coaching as well. As East Peoria has the ball now, Kalen Hardy going to shoot a three from top of the key and drains it. The big fella knocking it down.
That's exactly how you want to come out of a timeout. Great set, even better execution.
Here's the Lions leading at 9-5. Still that same starting 5 on the floor as Turner shoots a three, and he gets the answer.
Caden Turner now with 2 threes so far. Also has a block. His hands are all over this game. And this Lions offense doing a lot of ball screens, a lot of off-screen action, as we have a three-pointer missed at the top of the key from Weatherspoon. And bodies are flying everywhere right now, and possession's going to remain with the Raiders. But this Lions team loves to use ball screens, loves to use off-ball screen action, and it's really working out so far with this 7-point lead.
A foul picked up there by Phoenix Foy, so 2 fouls on the Lions, none on the Raiders. Halfway through the first quarter, it's a 12-5 Peoria High lead. Here's Kit, get that pass from Weatherspoon, faded away on the baseline and came up short. Duffin the board, kick out, Edwards to Turner, another deep three with Ahrens right in his face, and that one came up short. Du Bois gets the rebound. And a backcourt foul there by Moore. That's one you don't love seeing if you're the Lions.
A foul at the opposing three-point line. Not a great foul, and Du Bois is going to check out for the first time this game. And they really challenged him so far. Looked for Ahrens perhaps to bring the ball up, or Weatherspoon with Du Bois on the bench.
Weatherspoon, a very poised freshman, brings it up here. Hands off to Hardy, top of the key. Ahrens was left open on the block, but a nice closeout forces a miss.
They pulled the chair on Ahrens, and he fell for it, and no-look pass.
Touch pass up to Duffin. He was waiting on the block. I think, was that Moore on the assist?
Yes, that was just an incredible no-look. I mean, he was looking at us here in the broadcast booth and dishes it down to Duffin.
He says, watch this, Clutch Sports Media. Oh, he saw that one as Weatherspoon, his jumper was deflected by Duff and out of bounds.
Du Bois back in after about a 30-second break.
Peoria High's defense really coming to play so far tonight, Sky.
It's unbelievable, and the Raiders have to make some adjustments, and obviously it all starts with Quentin Kitt.
Here's Hardy in the corner. B.J. Nicholson into the game, another former Peoria High Lion for the Raiders. He stops near the elbow and kicks it back out to Du Bois beyond the arc. He's guarded by Orlando Edwards. Du Bois going to the right, kick out to Ahrens across the way. Ahrens driving in on Cameron Gunn. Shot was no good, got his own miss, put it up again and got fouled with 2:47 to go.
But I do really love to see that, Jonathan, from Ahrens. He missed that easy layup right before that, went in aggressively for another layup, gets the offensive rebound, goes up again. So he's not shy, even though he's not getting the buckets to fall quite yet. Still aggressive.
Ahrens knocks down the first. Other scores so far for EP. Hardy's got a triple, Kitt has 2. Raiders trailing 6-14. Should say 14-6, the Lions lead. You always put the winning score first. There's been a popular tweet that said that, so that is true. Always put the winning score first if you're either tweeting about a game or writing about it. Ahrens makes the second as well. It's 14-7. Lions have had 4 different scores, led by 6 points so far from Caden Turner. Here's an offensive foul. It's an illegal screen as Gunn was screening his former teammate Nicholson.
Yeah, I know that's probably going to get called more often than not. I don't love that foul right there. I mean, he might have moved just a hair. Gets called for the illegal screen. Ball's going the other way, and you talked about it in your last broadcast here in this gym. We got a football score, Jonathan.
We do. It was 21-7, but not anymore. Cole Du Bois knocks down a mid-range from the free throw line. It's 14-9 Lions, 2:18 to go in the first. But we saw Washington on this very court last night. Their girls team, a dominant performance over Galesburg. And they won a sectional title as the energy picking up here in the gym. Lions working it around. Moore kicks it out for a 3 ball. It's good by Stephen Williams. There's the first bench points of the game.
And I think the issue right now for the Raiders is it's so hard to guard these Lions one-on-one. So when they drive and get room, they can kick it out to the three-point line. You can't really guard guys like Turner and Nigel Moore. So when they drive, they get others open, and it worked right there.
Ahrens says his defender went under a screen and freed Ahrens up. A shot off the backboard, no good. Kitt had a chance, and he missed it. Outlet pass, full court up to Nigel Moore. He lays it up. It's a 19-9 Lions lead, 1:25 to go in the first.
And I think Quentin Kitt was a little scared to land on his teammate Kalen Hardy right there. He had an open layup, but was close to landing on Hardy.
Nicholson drives in on the left side, and it's good. Now quickly Moore the other way, and he dragged his foot. That's a travel. But back to your earlier point, Sky, I don't know how much you've watched Peoria High's football team, but the basketball team reminds me of it just because A, they obviously play fast, but B, again, it goes back to those one-on-one matchups. They are so confident, both teams, that they can match up with you one-on-one and win every single one of those matchups. And so far, it's proving to be true so far tonight as they lead at 19-11. Hardy feeds Kitt inside. Well, maybe not that matchup. That's a tough one. Kitt's up to 4, and the Raiders cut it to 6.
And that's the first time Kitt has caught the ball, and they've not sent a double at him. His easiest look so far, and what do you know? Results in a bucket.
Here's Moore getting a screen from Gunn. Over to Williams, now over to Edwards. He's guarded by Du Bois. Edwards beat Du Bois, but Kitt had a big effect as he went up for a layup and missed it. Here's Du Bois out all the way, puts it up, just threw it up, and it goes off the glass and in. A 6-0 run for East Peoria. It's 19-15.
How in the world did that go in? Cuts the lead down to 4. Lions are likely going to hold for 1, but really good end to this quarter from the Raiders. And it all stemmed after that timeout.
You hear the Raiders student section getting loud here on this last possession, and we get a foul. Nicholson was going for the steal and collided with Moore, knocked him over. Not a bad foul though. That's East Peoria's first with just 4.0 to go in this first quarter. You can foul him another time or two if you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing chess, sub some of your bench guys in and foul him, but I think they're gonna play things straight up right here and challenge Peoria High.
Inbound goes to Moore. Now it's Williams with 3, with 2. They got to shoot. Moore puts it way up. And no good. That one came from about the U in Galesburg on the midcourt logo. So after the first quarter, it's a 19-15 Peoria High lead.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to have a little bit more awareness. I think everyone in the gym knew that the clock was at 4.8, except the 5 Lions on the floor. They throw up a shot from nearly the half-court line, and you got to get a better look. And really good first quarter from the Lions, but momentum in favor of East Peoria.
Indeed it is. Want to take a quick break to let you guys all know, again, no sponsors for tonight's broadcast, but if you or someone you know has a local business or anyone that wants to advertise, help elevate their brand, sponsorships are available with us here at Clutch Sports Media for our playoff broadcasts. You see those logos there on the screen? Well, you could also have yours right next to it and featured prominently in our broadcast the rest of the postseason, and also on our social media graphics as well. Again, I go out to our thousands of followers and dedicated fans across Central Illinois. So reach out to us at inbox@clutchsportsil.com. Again, that's inbox@clutchsportsil.com or clutchsportsil@gmail.com. Also works too. We also have a contact us form on our website you can fill out. So yeah, if you want to help elevate your brand, get your business out in front of people and any potential customers and clients, again, reach out to us today and we'd be happy to talk about a plan that could work for you. And it'll be East Peoria ball to start out here in the second quarter as they trail 19-15.
I got a game for you, Jonathan.
Let's hear it.
Put Sean Livingston on the floor. How many points is he scoring in this ball game?
Oh boy, well, we'll see what Quentin Kitt would have to say. I would love to see that one-on-one matchup. Kitt just misses a shot there. I think Sean could probably give him at least a cool 25. Now obviously this Peoria High team, I'm sure Sean looks at these shooters as here's Daniel Ruffin Jr. on the drive. Got tied up. It's a jump. It favors the Lions. But I'm sure Sean sees these shooters, and I'm sure he knows he doesn't need to shoot everything. It's Caden Turner, Nigel Moore, I'm sure could help him out, and a few other guys as well. But I'm sure Sean still got it. I mean, you play at that level for that long, you're going to have it regardless.
Livingston known for the mid-range magic, one of the best mid-ranges of all time. But we're seeing the Lions stretching it out. They're hitting it from the three-point line tonight.
It is so at a very high clip again back on Wednesday when they beat the host Galesburg. It was a very rowdy environment. Lions again with the ball, 7:15 to go. They lead at 19-15. Edwards, good defensive possession here for East Peoria. Williams driving in on Hardy, and that was a tough matchup.
Really good defensive possession. They've definitely turned up the physicality and the defense. Kitt one-on-one.
Kitt just too strong for Williams. And he gets the better of him. Kitt up to 6 points. It's now an 8-0 Raiders advantage.
Kitt can certainly do it all, but when you have him going downhill, driving to his right, whew, look out.
That man has just been in the weight room. He's so hard to stop as Edwards trying to feed Foy. Goes up and under to beat Kitt. What a nice move there from Phoenix Foy, the Augustana commit.
Augustana, Augie, pretty darn good school, and he's a pretty darn good player, but that was a really good pass and good patience as Kitt tries to get another.
Driving in, puts it up, rimmed out. Aarons gets the rebound. Shot fakes a 3, goes cross court over to Kitt, right in front of the Peoria student section, and that one went all the way around and no good. Weatherspoon got a second chance, missed it. Hardy puts it in, and we have a 2-point game again. Peoria High 21, East Peoria 19. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Orlando Edwards double team. Finding Foy, driving it all the way on Kitt. He got it to go. Foy heating up with 6 points.
I know Foy is such a touted player, but not enough people know his name. He's so underrated in my opinion, and he is going to go off at Augustana.
Foy also a great student, a leader in the school. Played on their golf team as well as Du Bois's floater was no good. Daniel Ruffin Jr. with the rebound. Getting his first minutes in this one in the second quarter. They'll slow it down, set things up with Edwards. And Orlando Edwards Jr., his dad was a pretty good baller back in his day. Stephen Williams, guarded by Hardy, and he tried to get it to his teammate Looks like Andrej Walker, the manual transfer, but got mixed up and threw it in the East Peoria bench.
Manuel has a huge game tonight, regional championship against Bloomington Central Catholic.
Yeah.
That could go either way. That's going to be one heck of a game in the 2A Tri-Valley.
As Kent drives in, puts it up, gets fouled, and lets them know about it. Little flexing of the muscles celebration there, and he absorbed a lick. And as soon as he felt that contact, just threw it up and found the perfect spot on the window to bank it in, and he'll shoot one more.
Flex on him, young man. You deserve it. That's one of those times you scream as loud as you can, and one. Great finish right there from Kit.
Back in my day, I had a couple of players that screamed at weight room in my face.
Oh, yeah. Too little.
Yeah, I was not exactly the best paint protector, definitely more of a smaller guard.
No, you're huge, Jonathan.
Only about 5'9" and 130 or so on a good day, but Kit makes the free throw. It's 23-22 Lions. Three ball was missed by Moore, but offensive rebound. Three ball, Walker left wide open. That one rattles out. East Peoria now could take the lead on this possession. 4:34 to go. They trail by just one. Kit, dribble move, pull up three, no good. Aaron's offensive board, blocked by Duffin. Aaron's puts it up, and one again. The Raiders fans come to their feet as Aarons and Turner were wrestling for the ball, and Aarons rips it away and goes through the foul. East Peoria leads at 24-23 with 4:25 to go in the second.
The loudest this gym has been all night. Student section on their feet, of course, but everyone dressed in maroon and gold here for East Peoria on their feet as well. Whoo, Aarons, good finish.
Takes the free throw. It's 25-23. Maroon and gold for East Peoria on their side. Maroon and black on the Lions side right below us. Here's Walker going around his man and puts up a floater from the elbow. That one will tie it up here midway through the second. Under response from East Peoria after they were down 19-9 again at one point. Hurry and Aarons play catch. Aarons gets past Moore and Duffin. Good defense there on that drive, forcing the miss. Now here's Walker. Now Moore with the much larger Hardy on him. Moore somehow put it up. Boy, another offensive rebound. He got fouled, and Sky, it's almost a guarantee at this point that these teams are going to get a second chance. The offensive rebounding has just been all over the place tonight.
Yeah, and Peoria kind of switched up on what had them having success in the first quarter. Fast breaks, running and transition, and we finally see it again on that possession, and it really pays off. Phoenix Floyd with the second chance opportunity hits the first free throw.
Yeah, and that one was perfect. Nothing but nylon right there. Foy up to 7 points. That's a team high right now, and Foy's usually not a guy that leads the team in scoring, but we will say we did see him. We broadcast their game against Manual back in, I believe it was January, as he makes number 2. He put up 20 points and 20 rebounds on his birthday.
Hey.
That was a massive game from that young man there as he gives the Lions a 2-point lead. Kit driving in, just too strong for anyone as he gets that one to go over Jacob Duffett, 27 all.
Kit now to double figures with 11 so far. Kit saying it's a man's game.
And there are a few in the area that can match up with Kit's size. And again, Peoria High, not the biggest team out there. As Aarons comes away with a steal. Fast break, lays it up and in. Now Peoria High on their heels. Here's Moore trying to respond. His three ball was no good, and foul away from the ball. Going to be on East Peoria. And it's going to go on Kit.
And oftentimes there's not many good fouls in basketball, but Nigel Moore got the offensive rebound and would have had a wide open layup if that foul wasn't called. So at the end of the day, you hate to see Kit get a foul, but it was a pretty good foul.
Again, just one foul for him. 2 team fouls for each team so far as Foy. Nice cut on the baseline and a nice feed. I think that was off the hands of Moore again.
That was, and just imagine how much better Phoenix Foy is having a guy like Nigel Moore on the floor to give him the rock. He creates so much space and opportunities for Foy, and man, that's a really good duo.
Stay tuned to halftime. We'll have our special friend Gavin Russell coming into the booth to talk this one. Again, I'll mention what's at stake here. East Peoria looking for their first regional title since 1997. That would be a huge win if the Raiders can pull this out tonight. They're so hungry. Peoria looking to go back-to-back in regional titles.
Hard to believe it's been that long, but this could be the year. It's just crazy. This matchup is for a regional title, not even bigger.
It's going to be a sectional title game as Kit got the feed, put it up and in through another foul. Boy, the and ones and the offensive rebounds are aplenty tonight in Galesburg.
And when you call 23's number, you know he's going to show up, and man, he's just finishing so well through contact. As BJ Nicholson will check in, Cole DuBois will check out for the Raiders.
Kit up to 13 points, many of which have come in the second quarter. 31-29, East Peoria leads it with 2:15 to go, and Kit's free throw off to the left, and what do you know? Offensive board by Hardy. And it's going to stay here with the Raiders as they get poked out.
Kit with 13 points. Just going to give a quick shout out to the number 13. That's my favorite number.
Is that your number back in high school, Sky?
Yes, sir.
They should hang that on the rafters up at Leroy High School. Leroy playing for a regional title in Class 1A tonight. We'll have some more score updates as we get them later on in this one. So stay tuned. A lot of regional titles being handed out tonight as Aarons is three around the toilet, bowling in. Full three, 60. Aarons up to 10. Raiders lead it 34-29, under 2 to go in the second.
You'll hear this term a lot in sports, but Aarons really playing like an Energizer bunny for this Raiders team. He's kind of the X factor. He showed up tonight. 10 points.
Multi-sport athlete. He's played football in the past, also plays baseball. As Lions Moore feeding Williams for a three. That one was off the mark. And East Peoria could make this as big as an 8-point game here on this possession. Aarons over to Nicholson, guarded by Edwards. And Lions been in their man just about all night on defense. Here's Hardy on the right side. He's guarded by Foy. Lost his balance, but kicked it back out to Nicholson. Haven't seen much of A.J. Evans yet. He's another Peoria High transfer that went over to East Peoria before the season. Kit driving in and got fouled by Williams, who says, kind of gives it a little shrug there. Maybe a little bit of a sell there by Kit throwing his head back.
Certainly, and you see some of the top players. You don't see it a ton in high school, but the guys that are going D1, they learn that skill. It's so important to be able to draw fouls and kind of sell it a little bit. Was it a foul? Yes. But did you have to sell it more to make it more obvious? Yes, as Kit makes the first free throw.
Yeah, there was contact there. It wasn't a phantom.
But if you don't react, it might not get called.
Indeed, and Kit's a good free throw shooter as he has made all but one as he makes the second there. He up to 15 points. East Peoria leads at 36-29, 1:02 to go here before halftime.
And he matches his scoring output from the game against Washington, and only in one half. Yeah, unbelievable game for him so far. Saw him lead that crazy comeback against Metamora back 2 weeks ago to the date. They were down by 21 in the fourth quarter. Kit scores 23 in the fourth. They win it. And Kit scores a career-high 39 as Moore tosses it right in the breadbasket of Aarons. Another EP turnover. And they have it here with Weatherspoon. 30 seconds to go before halftime. Do you hold for one here, Jonathan?
That's what it looks like it's going to be. Raiders going 5 out. Hardy's in the corner. Kit in the other corner. Got Nicholson on the block. Now it's over to Aarons by half court. Down to 17. Aarons feeds off to Kit. Kit guarded by Duffin. Duffin's got 2 fouls. Kit may know that. May take advantage. 10 seconds to go. Kit up by the E in Galesburg. Now drives into the left. Has an open man. Doesn't kick it out. Fades and shoots. Cardi almost had the putback dunk. And the half-court heave is no good into the padding on the opposite side. But East Peoria leads at 36-29 at halftime. And they get a thunderous standing ovation going into the locker room.
The Raiders are roaring. What a second quarter from East Peoria. Lions win the first quarter. Raiders win the second quarter. 7-point ball game. Man, this is fun. Two really talented teams here tonight.
And regional title on the line. The winner of this will go on to the Ottawa sectional, which is, again, a very loaded one in Class 3A, especially for these teams that are on the bottom half of the bracket, Sky. The winner of this game will, in all likelihood, and we'll see if we get a score update, will play Kankakee, the top team in Class 3A, who has Lincoln Williams, who is a Mr. Basketball candidate in Illinois, also E.J. Hazlitt, an Indiana State commit who just came over this year. So now, again, Peoria High beat Kankakee, bit of history there. They beat him in the sectional title in Washington last year. So either way, it can be a great matchup, assuming Kankakee does not get upset tonight. But again, we'll have some score updates here coming up soon. But man, it's going to be some fun basketball in Ottawa as, again, Metamora and Morton also playing in another regional title. Again, our John Camosa is there providing updates on our social media. You can follow us, Clutch Sports IL, on Twitter. And that's where you'll get all of our score updates from our many reporters that are out at all sorts of different gyms. Normal UI leads at 27-21 over Champaign Central. Our Garrett Oliver is there at that one. Cameron Johnson with 8 points for the Pioneers. Class 3A has been pretty loaded this year, Scott. I know you're a big small school guy. You come from a 1A school yourself, but 3A has had a lot of good teams in the area this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely loaded on both the boys and girls side. And you said it, I'm a small school guy, but I've really done a deep dive into these bigger schools this year, and it's a lot of fun just learning about the star power. I mean, we're seeing a lot of star power tonight. Quentin Kitt with 15, and really incredible to see as I'll pass it over to my guest.
Yeah, Gavin Russell, our good friend, coming here in the booth. Gavin, just a big hoops fan in the area, been in the area for a long, long time. And he's here just as a fan, but Gavin, we're glad to have you here in the booth, and what a first half it's been. And Gavin, I know you may have a little bit of bias towards East Peoria. You're a graduate of there yourself, but I'd be pretty impressed with how both teams have played this first half.
No, I'm just a big fan of basketball, John. You know, I love this time of year, following the area schools. And honestly, you know, you just got to see who gets out of it and can make it the farthest into March. But, yeah, it's been a phenomenal game. A little surprised with the Cole DuBois sighting.
Yeah, holy cow.
Heard maybe he would just, you know, suit up, not as necessarily as a decoy, but, you know, maybe to throw a couple people off and then is in the starting lineup. So just been a terrific game so far, and I'm expecting a huge second half.
Yeah, Kitt's got 15 to lead East Peoria. DuBois, again, has had a couple buckets. He's got 4 to my count. Had that one really impressive layup. He just kind of drove in towards the basket, threw it up, and again, I don't know, Gavin, you may know more than I do. Again, is DuBois more right hand or left hand down? Because his right hand is the one that is broken. Now, if you're left-handed like me, that doesn't make quite as much of a difference. So
no, I believe he's more right-hand dominant. But
wow.
I'll tell you what, John, I went back and watched that game he got hurt against Peoria Notre Dame. He stayed in the game for about 2 more quarters after injuring his hand. He was burying shots, burying threes, obviously very gingerly with that hand, kind of favoring it a little bit. But ultimately, he just pushed him through the pain, one of the ultimate competitors, and really given us one of the best basketball games we've seen all season.
Certainly, again, at halftime. Here we'll bring it for you again. We are at halftime. East Peoria leads it at the half, 36-29. And glad you're with us here on ClutchSportsIL.com for free live audio coverage. Again, just audio tonight. Again, NFHS Network has, unfortunately, the exclusive rights to the video broadcast. But still, we're glad you're with us here tonight. And Gavin, just talking about some hoops in the area. I mean, obviously, regional title night, big night. You know, the field probably going to get cut, in half. But who are some other teams outside of these two that have been really impressive for you at any class?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you got to look at kind of the counterpart, the Morton Metamora. I mean, haven't seen a score from that one yet. John, you may be able to enlighten me on that, but that's just a terrific matchup. It was sold out. I saw on X this morning. It's been sold out for hours. Going to be a great atmosphere. Manual, obviously, still in things. You know, they had maybe a little bit of a closer game than they would have liked against Tri-Valley, who's a scrappy team. But, you know, again, Peoria area representing well. And I think those teams just mentioned are the teams that can make it the farthest. But this 3A sectional is got to be the toughest in the state. I mean, some of these regional and sectional games may be tougher, arguably, than some teams will face at the state level.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it is, but if you can win these games, you're certainly good enough to make it to Champaign. And both of these teams tonight are proving it. Morton and Metamora have the chops to do it. That's where my eyes are at right now.
For sure. Yeah, we saw, again, a sectional in girls that was super competitive, although Washington has been looking insane this
Yeah, not
season.
to ignore the girls at all.
Oh, yeah,
that
boy.
Washington, I mean, you come to Galesburg, right, on Galesburg's floor, and you put that kind of beat down. I mean,
It was a whooping.
I mean, just there's no other way to put it. They dominated. Great for Avery Tibbs just to be able to do what she did. She's been so influential to this program. Going to be remembered for generations to come.
Yep.
Just a great year. DMAC as well.
Yep.
That they've been close a couple of times. Right on that doorstep, they're looking to make the move. Good for Joni Nightingale and the Chiefs over there. Man, there's so many phenomenal teams this year, and it's so sad it all gets packed into 2 weeks. You wish it could just go on forever, John.
Indeed. It's kind of almost sad it gets packed in all the same regional, because again, there are a lot of boys and girls teams, and I think we could have multiple representatives at state if they had it arranged differently, but that's just the way it goes, and that's the way it's gone for a long time. But again, some updates. Again, Morton and Metamora tip off at 7 p.m. The game hasn't started yet, but again, our John Camosa will be tweeting out score updates. Again, he can follow him at JCOM91. We'll be retweeting his tweets on our Twitter and Clutch Sports IL as well. Mark Wagner will be at Brimfield and Fieldcrest, not too far from here, just over in Knoxville. That's the Class 1A regional title. And Garrett Oliver at Normal U-High and Champaign Central, where U-High leads right now. And yeah, just again, a lot of great basketball in the area at 2A. Manual, that's going to be a really big test against Central Catholic tonight. I think whoever wins that Manual BCC game, I think will probably, make it to state.
Yeah, I think that's a good vantage point, and I feel like a lot of people may have their money on Manual there, but I don't know. BCC seems like a team that could do it. Manual is a great team. They've got great players, but at the same time, you just never know what can happen in March, right? With upset Cinderella stories, you never know. So don't count anybody out until the final buzzer sounds. Looking forward to the rest of the playoffs, John. I appreciate having me on for a couple minutes, but electric atmosphere here. I mean, it's an hour away for both of these schools, and they showed up. Both these communities, both these schools are energized. You can just feel it. It's palpable in this gym right now.
Indeed it is. One last point I wanted to make, Gavin, here, is we have 2 minutes left at halftime. Again, East Peoria leads at 36-29, but again, this is, we talked about it last year, it's possible, and it's possible again this year too. We could see 3 teams from the Peoria city limits make it to state, because Richwoods in 4A having a great year. They could certainly do it. They are leading Rock Island 31-29 at halftime right now. Again, Richwoods 31, Rock Island 29 halftime, up in Class 4A. Obviously, the Lions trailing by 7 here, so they have a little bit of work to do. But again, still possible at this point that we could see all these teams and make it to state. And I think if they all win tonight, all 3 of them will breathe a big sigh of relief, because all of them getting some very strong tests.
Yeah, no doubt. And I forgot about Richwoods almost. They moved up a class on us. Can you imagine if they were still in 3A? I mean, what a field that would have been. It's maybe a blessing for these teams that they're in 4A this season. But, yeah, they're doing great things at that level. Peoria area is going to represent, though. We've been so blessed the last few years to go down to Champaign. We've seen so many local schools. We've called games, Peoria Christian, Richwoods, Manual, you name it. It's been phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward to seeing multiple teams, hopefully, multiple teams out of multiple classes make it to that level.
Indeed. Well, again, guys, Gavin Russell joining us in the booth. Gavin, thanks for joining us. Good to see you as always, as we'll bring Sky Gillespie back in here as well. But Gavin brings up a good point, and we usually cover multiple teams at state from our area because they do make it to state. And, again, we'll be providing coverage all the rest of the way, either with audio broadcast here on ClutchSportsIO.com, CSM Overtime as well, the home of all of our written content. I wrote a story about both these teams and their regional semifinal wins and how they got that done. Talked with Kingston Weatherspoon and Jackson Aarons. I talked with Nigel Moore, Caden Turner, both head coaches in that story. And we'll have lots more, again, stories coming out every single day on CSM Overtime. And again, if you want to reach out and have your business prominently featured in our broadcast and make these broadcasts possible. Again, we can't do it for that long without sponsors. So if you want to and help us provide free live coverage of these local teams and local sports, especially if your team thinking they can make a deep playoff run, Reach out to us again at inbox at clutchsportsil.com and clutchsportsil@gmail.com. We can help you grow your business. Second half started with East Peoria. With the ball is Kingston Weatherspoon, inbounds it to Kit. And Sky, overall, what do you think is the number one thing both teams talked about in the locker room as Kit driving in, puts it up, and good?
Yeah, I think both teams talked about number 23. I think Raiders want to keep feeding him, let him do what he does best and dominate, take over. And the Lions have to figure out a way to stop him. I think they got to send more doubles, mix things up on the defensive end. Didn't work to start off the quarter.
Now 38-29, East Peoria leads. Peoria High led by 10 at one point. Now they're down by nearly 10 as Weatherspoon fouled more on the perimeter. That's going to be 2 on Kingston Weatherspoon, the freshman, who has yet to score tonight.
A near half-court violation right there. The Lions getting a little sloppy on offense.
Here, Edwards still with it. Shot fakes Dubois, elevates from the corner. Or I should say the elbow, my bad. Corner of the lane is what I meant to say, and Edwards has his first points. Here's Aarons with it. Driving it over to Kit, guarded by Duffin. Duffin's had a very tall task guarding Kit. Kit, a turnaround fadeaway baseline jumper. That's a tough one, but Hardy comes away with a steal. Moore, though, gets it right back. East Peoria with the ball. Dubois driving in, one-handed floaters off the mark. Feeds it into Hardy, and Turner fouled him on the ground. And that will be 2 fouls on Caden Turner.
And we're seeing how much attention Dubois is still drawing on the offensive end. They know how talented he is, broken hand or not. Really good offensive rebound right there. And a good pass. It'll lead to another possession for the Raiders.
And that's a major storyline in this game in case you're just tuning in as Turner blocks Kit. And Moore in transition was running the court very well and laid it up and in. Much needed bucket for the Lions. But again, Dubois playing tonight. He was in the starting lineup after breaking his hand just 2 weeks ago against Peoria Notre Dame.
Some people said he wouldn't play tonight. Some people said he couldn't play tonight.
For the rest of the season.
Look at him here.
As some of them said. That was what many thought. As East Peoria tries to build on its 38-33 lead, under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Weatherspoon kick out, Aaron's top of the key, and that one missed off the front iron. Edwards the board, up to Moore. Thought about a three, drives it in. Lost the ball, but was fouled. Trying to get it there to Foy, who had a wide open layup.
And it is really interesting to see, Jonathan. If you're East Peoria, if you're Peoria High, did you prepare for a Dubois-less team? I know these teams are so close in proximity as Orlando Edwards gets his second bucket.
Tough jumper, crashing to the ground and knocks it down. Edwards starting to heat up, and that would be huge. He didn't score in that first half. It's 38-35 Raiders.
But I wonder if you're able to keep a secret with both of these teams being so close in proximity that Dubois is out, as Kit catches a lob and lays it in for an easy 2.
Kit up to 19, but yeah, you bring up a good point, Sky. Again, a lot of these players, doesn't matter what conference side of the river they're on, a lot of them know each other, a lot of them have friends, they talk a lot. So, yeah, I'd be very curious to know how Peoria High prepared for it. As Hardy had it and lost the handle, double teamed, but was fouled. Moore and Foy had him cornered in the corner. And the Lions cannot believe it. That's going to be on Foy, and that's number 4 on him.
And a really good double, such an unfortunate break. They swung their hands at him, and I do think a bit of forearm was caught right there, and big 4th foul for Foy.
That's tough. Foy's got 10 points and playing really well tonight, so Cameron Gunn is going to have some major minutes in this regional title game as he checks in for Foy. Aarons with the ball for East Peoria, guarded by Moore. Now here's Kit driving in, acrobatic shot. That one came up well short. Ball was batted around.
Whoa.
Referees say it was off of Hardy. The Raiders can't believe it. The Lions love the call. That was a tough angle to see from where we were at.
Yeah, it was a tough angle, but I was really interested to see if that, I believe it's either assistant coach or an athletic trainer at the end of the bench. If she didn't catch that ball, it looked like that ball was going to land directly in the trash can.
Not the bucket you want to make it in tonight. As here's Edwards. Lions down by 5. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the third. Moore driving it. Stonewalled by Hardy on the baseline. Gonna hand off to Edwards. The hot hand. Got it to go! While falling to the ground again. Orlando Edwards is catching fire. And Peoria High is now down just 40-38.
DuBois getting triple teamed, draws the foul, and just play straight up defense. You don't need that many bodies crashing into DuBois, but someone had to step up. Who would have thought after that first half it was going to be Orlando Edwards to step up?
Well, the Lions are a team where everyone can score in double digits any given night, and Edwards is already reaching that now. Kitt driving in, his shot no good. Hardy to clean it up and in. Hardy's playing a nice game, especially on the glass. 42-38 Raiders. Moore driving quickly in, puts it up and it falls in.
And the biggest impact of Foy having 4 fouls is the mismatch on Kitt right now, and that just shows how hard it is to guard Kitt. He drew 4 fouls that early in the game for Foy.
Driving in, kick, Nicholson's 3, bounced off the rim. Hardy, another offensive rebound, and was swatted cleanly by Gunn.
And this is such a good basketball game. Whether you're a fan of offense or defense, we have it both here tonight in Galesburg. Really fun game to watch so far.
John Thiel Gymnasium, the site of tonight's regional title game, and the energy really picking up in this one, really starting to feel like a regional title game. As the Jackson Aarons mop up some wet spot there on the baseline. DuBois will inbound. Aarons just tosses the towel right into the East Peoria cheerleaders. They say we don't want anything to do with that. DuBois into Kitt, puts it up and had it taken away. Peoria High had it for a second. Kitt took it right back and put it up and in. Kitt now with 21. East Peoria 44-40 with 3:13 to go in the third.
They caught a break. They played really good defense that possession, but you can't give Kitt 2 tries in one turn.
Second chances have been the name of the game tonight. It's just when you get that defensive rebound, it feels like, oh, finally. As we get a foul there on DuBois, that's number 1 on him. 3rd team foul for EP, and a cutting Gun hangs in the air and beats Kitt. That's Gunn's first bucket.
And I really like Gunn's game. He's kind of like a Paul Reed in basketball. Once his name gets called, he'll do all the little things right, but you're playing behind some really talented big men, so you don't often get your number called.
Kitt driving baseline, and he has been hounded all night and not quite getting the whistles as much here in the second half as Duffin comes away with it. Over to Moore. Moore on DuBois. No look pass to Duffin. Layup, and we're tied at 44.
Not gonna lie, Jonathan, I think I am a pretty smart basketball intellect. I think I can predict what's gonna happen, but I had no idea where that pass was gonna go. Nigel Moore's a magician.
Moore, a bright young star as a sophomore. East Peoria calls timeout with 2:27 to go. We're tied at 44-44. This was a 36-29 East Peoria lead at halftime. Again, the Raiders, what's at stake? Their first regional title since 1997. I feel older every single day, Sky. That's still even before I was born.
Yeah, it's crazy. You and I are older than a lot of NBA players right now, even older than some college players. It's just, it's really heartbreaking. We're getting old, Jonathan, but I want to talk about that last possession for the Lions. After that rebound for the Lions, 2 different Raiders were standing 90 feet from the basket for no reason, double teaming the guy who got the rebound. So it led to a fast break for Peoria High, and obviously get the ball in Nigel Moore's hands, good things can happen.
This has turned out to be a doozy. Tell your friends and family to get to Clutch Sports Media right now to tune in and see how this one plays out. Glad you're with us, joining us through YouTube and our website tonight. It's East Peoria ball after that timeout. Raiders have 3 timeouts left. East Peoria High has all 5 of theirs. Both teams with 3 fouls here in this third quarter with 2:27 to go. Raiders going to slow things down, run a set here. Hardy over to Du Bois, now Kit in the corner. Duffin's been guarding him most of the night. Kit kicks out, Nicholson's three is off the mark, and the rebound into the hands of Edwards. A favorable bounce for the Lions. He goes up to Turner, back to Edwards. He drives in, pass Du Bois, lays it up. Peoria's got the lead, and Edwards has 9.
Really impressive third quarter for Edwards, and 2 more fast break points.
Du Bois gonna pull a trigger on the three. That one no good.
Oh, yep, I saw that.
That was a great call by the officials. We were looking right down the line. He got the board, but just the edge of his foot was on the line. That's a good eye there from that backside ref.
It's kind of like that Kevin Durant 3 with the Nets. His shoe size was just about a half size too big and barely catches the out of bounds line.
I remember, I lived in Milwaukee. I was a Bucks fan. I remember listening to that game on the radio. Unforgettable game there as Hardy drives in on gun, and that's a dictionary definition of a charge.
Incredible defense, way to have your feet set, but most importantly, most impressively, way to stay down. If he got thrown in the air by Hardy, it would have been a foul, and Hardy would be at the line for 2, potentially an and 1, but Hardy lowers the shoulder, knocks down Gunn.
First personal, 4th team foul on Hardy and the Raiders. 1:27 to go. Lions lead 46-44. Moore is just left wide open. Let him get to a spot, but he couldn't convert. Kit gets the rebound. Up to Jackson Aarons. Hardy's open in the corner, and he can shoot. Playing a nice game, Hardy is against his former team. Now Aarons for 3. Back and forth we go. Aarons has 13 as he buries it.
I'll just say it right now in this matchup. You cannot go under screens. Aarons will make you pay. Open 3. And he's up. He's got 13.
13, yeah. Lions went under a screen for Aarons earlier, and he couldn't quite make him pay, but that time he does. Lions with 45 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Edwards has been the Energizer Bunny, like you said, for the Lions. 9 points in this quarter alone for the Lions. Now he's going to drive in on Kit, kicking out to Moore in the corner. Moore driving in on Nicholson. Tough jumper, and Hardy gets the rebound.
Expect East Peoria to hold for 1 right here. 25 seconds left. They're up 1.
Boys over to Aarons. East Peoria looks like they're going to still have their lead heading into the 4th, but it's going to be cut by a decent amount. This one really a coin flip as we're down to 7. Nicholson over to Kit in the corner, drives baseline. 3 Lions there, and one of them fouled him. Don't know who it was at the moment, but Kit will shoot with 3 seconds even to go.
There was quite literally 8 arms swatting at that ball that Kit just put up. And I mean, if you're a ref and you see that, you got to call a foul. Doesn't matter on who, someone's getting called for a foul.
And it is Jacob Duffin Jr. He's got 3. When we call him Jacob, he usually goes by JJ. As Kit knocks down the first, up to 22 points, Quentin Kit on the night. Meanwhile, Peoria High has 5 players with more than 6, and Foy is the only one in double figures with 10. He's got 4 fouls. Kit knocks down the second, 49-46. More from half court. High arcing shot, and that one hit the shot clock as I think we had a stray air horn. Haven't heard that all week. I've been here for all 4 nights. As East Peoria leads at 49-46. 1 more quarter to go.
Yeah, I know we have the World Cup coming up soon, but that's the first air horn I've heard in a minute, and talked about it heading into halftime. Tale of 2 quarters so far, and I mean, tale of 2 halves perhaps. Lions won the first quarter, Lions won the second quarter, or excuse me, won the third quarter as well. So if the trends continue, Raiders win the second and fourth quarter, who knows?
We will see. 3-point game here in Galesburg, and both these teams have been evenly matched. This is the second matchup of the season between these two teams. Peoria High picked up a big win over the Raiders, 65-61 back in early January, and Raiders trying to get them back when it really counts. Both these teams, too, also have been neck and neck all season in the Associated Press official rankings across the state in Class 3A. The final ones, which were just released on Wednesday, Peoria High leapfrogged East Peoria, they're number 7 in the state in Class 3A. East Peoria, number 8 in the state. But these two teams and Morton have been right there, kind of that 6, 7, 8 all season long. And Morton going to be set to battle for a regional title against Metamora tonight. Normal UI also in the mix for a 3A regional title. Strap in, fourth quarter underway here in Galesburg. Peoria High ball, they trail 49-46. It's Edwards with it. Gets a screen from Stephen Williams. Lions 5, it's Gunn, Andre Walker, Stephen Williams, Orlando Edwards, Caden Turner. East Peoria's got Aarons, Kit, Weatherspoon, DuBois, and Hardy out there.
And look to get Caden Turner some action. He's been pretty quiet this second half after a really good start to the game.
Knocked down 2 threes, and Lions turn it over. Walker, miscommunication, and threw it into the Lions bench. But yeah, Turner has been neutralized a little bit in this one with 6 points. Again, I wonder when we're going to see Foy come back into the game. Again, he's had 4 fouls since about the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. Kit driving in on Williams. Layup is up and good. So tough to stop Quentin Kitt.
A 25-piece for Quentin Kitt, the Illinois commit, just a junior.
Edwards creates some space, got knocked over afterwards. Lions want a foul. Not sure if there was any contact or not, but no good. East Peoria 51-46. Aarons over to DuBois.
One of the few times in this game we've actually had a set play called. It's been a lot of up and
Weatherspoon for a 3 is no good. Edwards gets the long rebound. No numbers, 1-on-2, and DuBois stole it. Now a 2-on-1 for EP. DuBois, Kit layup good. 53-46 East Peoria. Raiders student section going berserk right now. Timeout called by Peoria High. I don't mind that for Brian McElmurray there, as you kind of just need to kind of pop that balloon of energy
I think
some
you
point.
have to right there. And just a 4-0 run, but every single bucket so important in a game like this where one possession could possibly decide the game. And wow, what a great start, and the energy from this Raiders team. The crowd is hyped, and Peoria High looking to get their fans excited, but 2 turnovers to start the fourth quarter. Not a great start.
A little bit of a game reset for you while we have a rare chance to catch our breath. East Peoria 53, Peoria High 46. Lions led it by as many as 10 in the first half. No team fouls yet in this fourth quarter. Peoria High 4 timeouts left. East Peoria with 3, running on the foul situation. Phoenix Foy with 4 for Peoria High. Jacob Duffin Jr. with 3. And Caden Turner with 2. Stephen Williams with 2 by our unofficial count. Cameron Gunn also has 2 fouls as well. East Peoria on their side. Aarons has a foul. DuBois has a foul. Weatherspoon has 2 fouls. Hardy has 1. And I think that's it for the Raiders. So Raiders in a little bit less foul trouble here with 6:35 to go in the fourth. Lions ball as Moore brings it up. They could really use a big 3 from him, as after he knocked down several the other night. Turner gonna shoot, too strong on that one. Aarons now the other direction in the fast break. Guarded tightly by Turner, but they're gonna get him for a foul. Peoria wanted a jump ball. They might have had a case there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there, Jonathan. Looked like solid defense from Turner, but going back to Turner on the offensive end, I think that was the right set. You got to try to get Turner, the sharpshooter, going. Just missed a good opportunity right there. On the opposite end, gets drawled for the foul. Aarons at the line for 2.
Raiders could open up one of their biggest leads of the night if Aarons makes 2 free throws. He knocked down his first. It's 54-46, 6:20 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Aarons for his second. Nice rotation. It's up and good. Raiders shooting well from the stripe tonight.
And look who sits down at the scorer's table, Jonathan.
It's Phoenix Foy. They come in for the final stretch, and they could really use him right now. They've missed his rebounding and energy. Gunn kicks it back out to Moore for 3. That one too strong. Moore doesn't quite have the touch he did the other night. Edwards' 3 is no good. Weatherspoon skies for the rebound. We get a tie-up. No, a foul.
Foul.
The arrow was with East Peoria anyway. But that foul's going to go on Nigel Moore. That's his second and the team's second of this fourth quarter.
And Phoenix Floyd back into the game, but with 4 fouls, you know he can't be matched up with Kit, so he's going to be matched up on Hardy right now.
Yep, it's Duffin on Kit. Kit beats Duffin again and puts it off the glass and in. He's been having his way with that matchup, and Kit up to 29. Raiders lead it by 11. Biggest lead of the night, 5:40 to go. Gunn from the free throw line, just inside it. His shot no good. Lions are going cold from the field.
Scoreless to start this fourth quarter. Disastrous start if you're a Peoria High fan, but it all has to start at the defensive end. You have to get stops.
Du Bois drives in, and there is heavy contact there with Moore. That's a clear foul. 3 fouls on Moore, 3 fouls now on the Lions. Here is East Peoria. They put Washington in foul trouble. Some major foul trouble the other night, and I think they can kind of maybe smell some blood in the water in that department here again now.
Well, you know that the Lions are going to play a lot more physically, try to get away with some fouls, try to get turnovers as Du Bois misses off the front iron. They're going to play a lot more physical, and East Peoria looks to be up for the challenge.
Du Bois again with his broken hand, knocks down the second, missed his first. Got 5 points playing with that broken hand tonight. 58-46 Raiders lead. Still time though for the Lions as Moore slices into the lane and puts it up and in. Moore now in double figures.
Huge bucket just to see the ball go through the net. Huge to build the confidence for Peoria High. 10-point game as Kit's going downhill.
Kit driving in. That time got blocked, but he got his own miss. Put it up and one. There's a huge flex and a huge yell for Kit. Pounds his chest and said, "I'm the man." And he is. He's got 31.
So demoralizing right there if you're the Lions. You have a really good defensive possession, but it seems Kit is a ball magnet. The ball always finds its way back to him. Cannot give him a second chance opportunity. He'll go to the line and he'll flex on you.
I saw it against Metamora as Kit knocks it down, and it's 61-48, East Peoria lead. But when Kit gets downhill, puts the ball on the ground, drives in, he is virtually unstoppable as Moore has the response, another 3. Nigel Moore starting to heat up. It's back to a 10-point game, 61-51, 4:40 to go.
And that's important because it calms his team down. It also calms down this electric student section for the Raiders.
East Peoria just a few more students than Peoria High brought tonight. Both have been loud though, as here's Kit at the top of the key. Guarding by Duffin. And they force a miss. Good defense there as Turner has it. Now feed up to Moore. Moore lays it up and had to contort his body. Foy is there on the second chance. 61-53 after that layup.
Full court man-to-man pressure coming out for Peoria High. Du Bois, the leader of this team.
Du Bois gonna tee up a 3 and it's too strong. Turner a huge board there. Now Moore lobs it up. Duffin lays it in. 61-55, East Peoria clinging on to their lead. Lions not done yet. And we'll get a timeout called by Jarrett Brown in the Raiders sideline.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, I think it's not a bad idea to call a timeout here. You can feel a little bit of momentum going the Lions' way, and it's just a 2-possession game. Was just a double-figure game, and Peoria High staying in it. 3:37 to go here tonight in the regional title.
2 quick score updates for you. Normal U-High leads Champaign Central 43-27, and U-High not in that Ottawa sectional we were talking about earlier, so they'll be on a different path, but again, still a team in Central Illinois that we cover. And Richwoods, a lead right now. They lead through 3 quarters, 52-42. Amarion Smith-Holly with 20 points, and Anthony Moore with 11 as the Knights taking on Rock Island right now up at East Moline. Or no, that game is in Minooka, up near in the very far out Chicago suburbs. So Richwood's in decent shape right now. Peoria High has work to do. And I'm not sure if Manuel's game is tipped off yet or not. Again, Morton and Metamora just tipped off. few minutes to go. Again, this one is 61-55 in favor of East Peoria with 3:37 to go in the fourth. In case you're just tuning in, you made a good decision. Regional title on the line, and this one's been a doozy. Raiders have the ball now. Here's Ahrens kicking out Hardy. He is in the corner. Hardy's been pretty dangerous from that spot. Been his office tonight. Ahrens now back at the top of the key, guarded by Gunn. Raiders might use some clock to their advantage here. Definitely slowing things down now. 3:10 to go. Kitt surveys his options, dumps it off to Hardy. Good defense by Gunn. Ball batted around into the hands of Ahrens. That was a missed chance there for the Lions.
It's just really unfortunate break right there, and all that's going to lead to is more clock. It's going to tick, tick, tick. No shot clock here this year. And DuBois is just running around like a madman, avoiding the defense, trying to milk the clock.
Down to 2:45. 6-point deficit for the Lions right now. How long do you let this thing go? Now down to 2:35 is Kitt. Fouled there by Duffin. That's 4 on Duffin.
Something to note, Phoenix Foy on the bench. Bound to check back in right here.
They do offense defense with him.
But I think the thing is, you did need to foul, but you could have fouled a guy like Hardy. You don't really want to foul a guy like Quentin Kitt.
Yeah, Kitt's been to the line a lot tonight. East Peoria has barely missed. Kitt has 32 of East Peoria's 61.
Well, maybe you do want to foul Kitt.
Kitt missed one there. Again, you're never going to make 100% of your free throws. That one a bit too strong. Foy comes back in for Gunn. So either way, Lions will have a chance to cut into it just a bit more. And Kitt knocks out number 2.
But even if you can keep trading a bucket for one free throw, you'll take that all day long for the Lions.
Need to score here if you're Peoria High. Here's Nigel Moore driving in on the freshman Witherspoon. Turner puts up a tough shot, got fouled. I think that was his motive right there. I think Ahrens got him. That was an acrobatic, crazy off-kilter shot.
Yeah, and I just took a look over to the East Peoria fans, and they're motioning the 2 hands down, a flop. They're saying Caden Turner flopped right there, but definitely drew the foul, and he'll head to the line for 2.
That foul going on Kingston Witherspoon. He's got 4 fouls, so and something to keep an eye on. Witherspoon going to stay in the game. Turner made his first free throw. He's got 7 points on the night.
And that's his first point this half.
It is, and there's his second. So Peoria High cuts into it by 1. They're now down 5. 62-57, 2:23 to go. Raiders in the bonus. Kitt crosses the timeline. Moore nearly poked it out from behind. Raiders, I'm sure, going to work some more clock here. Edwards guarding DuBois. Kitt sets the screen, and Hardy passes it back off to DuBois.
I think you fouled DuBois here. He has a broken hand, still a really good shooter, but perhaps test that hand of his.
Double teamed, he finds Witherspoon, and Witherspoon traveled. Huge break for the Lions. They can cut this down to a 1-possession game. 1:55 to go.
Jonathan, that's a freshman mistake right there for Witherspoon. Has played really good this game, has had an incredible season, but there's a lot of pressure in this game, and he is just a freshman.
Big possession here for Peoria High. Edwards finds a cutting. Duffin puts it up off the glass. No good. Batted around, and Hardy comes away with it. East Peoria ball. Hardy feeds it up to Ahrens. 1:35 to go. Timeout East Peoria. And I think Duffin was trying, he has a fairly high percentage look. Shot it off the glass, but didn't get that foul called.
Shot it just above that top right corner of the box on the backboard, and just a little bit long right there, and he's going to really want that one back. But I think the Lions as well want that one back because they just haven't been able to get offensive rebounds here in the fourth quarter compared to East Peoria.
And in case you or your business interested in sponsoring our broadcast, want to get your brand, your business out there in front of thousands of high school sports fans in the area, reach out to us again, inbox at clutchsportsil.com or clutchsportsil@gmail.com. You can also contact us on our website, and we can help you grow your brand here through the playoffs. Put your logo right here on our broadcast and social media graphics. 62-57, East Peoria leads again. on the verge of history. This Raiders team, it has been since 1997, nearly 30 years since this team has won a regional title. And you knew that this squad with Kit and Du Bois, that tandem, and Jackson Aarons too, they had the potential to lead them to a regional title, and they just came up short the last 2 years. But now they're 134 away from breaking that drought here tonight as it's Raiders ball on the baseline. Aarons with it near the volleyball line, guarded tightly by Stephen Williams. Again, Lions been in a man all night. No surprise there. Williams all over Aarons. Now Hardy with it. He's going to drive in on Gunn. Hardy looking to kick. Du Bois struggling to get open, but does. Down to 115. 62-57 again. The lead for East Peoria. 1:10 on the clock. Peoria High still is not fouled. Now it's Kit. Tough to foul him. Duffin's got 4 fouls. So does Cameron Gunn.
Whoa.
No, he's got 2. Kit finds a wide open Weatherspoon. Layup good. What a time for Weatherspoon's first bucket. Under a minute to play. It's 64-57. Moore. 3-ball. Comes up short. Hardy the miss. East Peoria can taste it. Peoria High has to foul. Gotta foul. They foul Kit. And with 39.6 to go, the Raiders might just pull this one out.
And it seemed like this entire fourth quarter, they could feel it, they could taste it, but still, all the fans, the entire bench, still holding their breath. They had so much more work to do. And so far, it looks like that work has paid off as Kit is at the line.
Kit knocks it down, and he has been phenomenal tonight. Nearing his career high of 39, which he set 2 weeks ago. He has 34 tonight after knocking down that first free throw. Williams and Gunn checking out for the Lions. And it looks like Foy and Edwards back in. Kit is good on number 2. 35 for the Illinois commit. 9-point game with 35 seconds left to go. Peoria High needs a miracle as Turner's 3. Air ball. That might about do it unless Peoria High gets a very quick turnover, but Du Bois across the timeline finds Kit. Turner gambles, and you had to do that there. Can't come away with it, and Turner just fouls Kit. Desperation time here for the Lions.
And the man of the hour, the man of perhaps the century for East Peoria as they chase their first title of the 2000s. And Kit, he's got that dog in him, Jonathan.
You could say, I mean, truthfully, you could say Kit might be the best player of the millennium for East Peoria, since 2000, obviously. And Kit takes a deep breath, and he knows what he and his team are about to do. Du Bois fires up the fans. The reserves are coming in, and listen to this crowd cheer on the starters. They'll all calm down. The Raiders, I think, going to get ready for a court storm as they head down there and get pushed back for right now. Kit knocks down, second, 68-57. Here's the Lions. Well, bringing up the court here. They bring some reserves in. And Richard Branscombe handed it off. 3-ball is on the way, and no good there from the Lions. And East Peoria, for the first time since 1997, is a regional champion. What a performance from the Raiders. They take the Galesburg Regional title 68-57 in a gritty win they had to earn every single bit of.
Yeah, and it's really hard to believe, Jonathan. This is just the second loss of 2016 for Peoria High. They were 15-1 since January 1st, and hats off to them, an incredible season, but they couldn't get the season sweep over this hungry, scrappy, gritty Raiders team, and it just shows how much this meant to them. It's truly history. It's been so long since they've gotten to cut the nets, and Quentin Kitt, my oh my, a 37-piece.
Unbelievable game. Big-time players play big-time games in big-time environments. That's exactly what Quentin Kitt did tonight. And how about this Raiders team? I mean, coming into this one, I think a lot of people, as they raise their plaque and jump around with it, students not being allowed to storm the floor, but they will celebrate for sure here. But coming to this game again, Peoria High, you know, a lot of people thought they might have had it. Du Bois was, many people thought, I think everyone almost thought Du Bois was going to be out. He played tonight, only scored 5 points. But again, this team is, you know, so even with him out, even if Quentin Kitt didn't score 37, this team is still so hard to beat. They're special, they're deep. They rebounded well tonight. They shot the ball well. They were smart. And they certainly earned this regional title in a tough, tough way for the Lions season. And we had a lot of fun watching this Peoria High team so often during the season. And their season 23-7. But this is a young team, and they will be back with sophomores like Duffin, Edwards, Turner, and more. Again, all sophomores. Phoenix Foy, a graduating senior. Hats off to him. Stephen Williams, Cameron Gunn, Jalen Rayford, I believe, as well, a senior for them. So a great, great career for that Lions team that had to battle through so much this season and throughout their careers. They won a sectional title last year for the first time in a long time. And, you know, Peoria High basketball is, you know, maybe not quite the Sean Livingston level. He'll head home a bit disappointed tonight, but, you know, it is at a very high level, and it will be for the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Peoria High. This was an incredible environment tonight, and that's the beauty of March Madness. One team elated, the other team, they don't get to play for about 9 more months, and it's just tough. That's how sports work, the highs and the lows, but that's just how it works, and it's such a beautiful game basketball is, and here in Central Illinois, don't let this Raiders team get hot. Don't let Quentin Kitt drop 37. And Du Bois is back. He's showing no quitting. Like we talked about, just scored 5 points, but his ball handling, his leadership, his defense, it paid so many dividends tonight.
68-57, again, your final score as the Raiders run back into the locker room through a tunnel of cheerleaders and fans. Their coaching staff shares hugs and some happiness, some hugs, and I'm sure some happy tears that haven't been shed since 1997. The Raiders make history tonight here in Galesburg. They move to 29-4. They will face the winner of Kankakee. I'm not sure, I gotta see who's Kankakee is playing. We'll try and bring you again a quick score update before we sign off the air. Is Kankakee, they are heavily favored, #1 team in the state. Going to be a tough matchup regardless of who it is, again, in Ottawa. That game will be on Wednesday, I believe. As I'm trying to pull this up here, I don't see, where's Kankakee? The K's having a great season. They're taking on Plano tonight.
That game just tipped off about 10 minutes ago or so.
Yeah, so probably no score update there, but yeah, Kankakee heavily favored. I think I would be utterly shocked if Plano won that game. So will likely be Kankakee East Peoria, and on the other side, the winner of Morton Metamora will face the winner of LaSalle Peru and Ottawa at the Ottawa sectional next week. Well, Sky, has been a phenomenal week of basketball. Started on Monday with boys regional quarterfinals, then girls action on sectionals Tuesday and Thursday. Boys regionals Wednesday and Friday as well, and it's just been a very fun week of hoops. And again, we have another one coming up next week as well.
It's been fun. You couldn't have asked for a better game. You couldn't have asked for a better showing. Quentin Kitt passed the test, 37 bomb, and he makes history. They're partying like it's 1997.
Party like it's 1997 indeed, Sky. You stole my line. You read my mind.
I'm so sorry.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm glad you stole the words out of my mouth. We're on the same page there. But once again, your final. East Peoria 68, Peoria High 57. Kitt 37 points tonight. Jackson Aarons with 15. Keelan Hardy with 7, Cole DuBois 5, Kingston Weatherspoon with 2. That was a big layup for him there at the end. And BJ Nicholson, 2 for EP. For Peoria High, Nigel Moore and Jacob Duffin Jr. both with 13. Phoenix Foy with 12. Orlando Edwards with 9. Kanan Turner with 8. Stephen Williams with 3. And Andrej Walker with 2. Cameron Gunn also with 2 for the Lions. That will about do it. From Galesburg and John Thiel Gymnasium, once again, thank you for tuning in and spending your Friday night with us at Clutch Sports Media. We hope you tune in again next time. Again, stay tuned to our social media channels, Clutch Sports Media on Facebook and Instagram, Clutch Sports IL on Twitter. You can find out where we might be next week. Oh, plenty more coverage coming your way here in IHSA March Madness. But one more time, for Sky Gillespie, I am Jonathan Michael saying so long and good night from Galesburg. Thanks for joining us and have a great rest of your weekend. This is only February.